Hey, what's up, everybody? I am your host, John F. Thomas. Welcome, Reelers. Welcome back to Real Review. I'm your host again, John F. Thomas. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, share this video so that more people can see it. We're going to dig into Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 2, and I'm going to dig into my review on that. But we'll get all into this right after we hit that intro. It's the real review. It's the real review. Yep, it's the real review. Welcome back. Again, I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Please hit the like button, subscribe to John F. Thomas. That's where you're going to see all my real review videos where we're going to be talking about all the different TV shows and movies that I'm watching. And please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think and everything so far. So without further ado, we're going to go right into the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 2 and what I thought about it all. So when we last left off, we found out there was a new Captain America. Isn't that crazy? So there's a new Captain America, and this guy looked really weird. He looked kind of ugly, but surprise, fooled me. He's actually a nice looking gentleman. So I guess they just gave him a goofy looking, bigger helmet that just wouldn't fit him. Or maybe there was somebody else that was cast as this guy, and he just happened to look ugly instead of this dude. I'm sorry, but I'm just keeping it real. So, pun intended. But anyway, so this is the new Captain America. So it started off with showing, I think his name is John Walker, showing John Walker. And again, this is spoiler review before I really dig into this. So if you don't want to get, I mean, this is probably already spoiled so far, but yeah, come back later. But anyway, John Walker is the new Captain America. And he's sitting there trying to figure out if he really, can he live up to this mantle? And also, he doesn't really care for the fanfare and the marketing and all of that. It's a lot. It's a lot to step up to. But he has friends that are there to help. One is this one lady that came in, and I don't know if that was his love interest or probably just a friend. And she was telling him like, oh, hey, you got it. Don't worry about it. You the man or whatever. And then she was like, oh, got another friend that's going to come through and talk to you. So his other buddy came in and was talking to him and seemed just basically tell him like, hey, man, you have what it takes and all that stuff. Just being good friends. Like you've done all this stuff before. You are the soldier that everybody knows that you go out there and put everything on the line for your friends. So you deserve to be Captain America. Okay, so it goes from that to fast forward to now this new Captain America is now being interviewed on Good Morning America. And so he's out there, he's shaking hands. He didn't kiss any babies, but, I'm pretty sure if there was a baby nearby, he would have kissed one. And, he was just talking about what it means to him and all this stuff. And they were just like, oh, yeah, you were the top of your class and all this other kind of stuff. And they showed footage of him, I guess, basically training, in a sense, to be the Captain America. So he had the shield, had Cap shield where he threw it and a boomerang off of these two objects. So he has good accuracy and it bounced right back to him and he caught it and, did it again with the other hand and he caught it again. But which it was cool to see, but also it made me feel as though like what's the point, because this is just like a regular dude. I guess kind of like Sam. I guess for people just like, oh, that's cool, anybody can be Captain America. And it's just like, yeah. And I mean, somebody mentioned that, oh well, this shows that he's at the peak of his human ability. And it's just like, I mean, yeah, but the cool thing with Steve being Captain America and throwing the shield and catching it and doing all this kind of stuff, this crazy stuff, is that he was a super soldier. He had the super soldier serum, so it kind of made sense. He had enhanced agility, enhanced strength, enhanced endurance, all this stuff. So it would make sense for him to throw this shield and then do all this stuff, and he catch it in an over exaggerated, ridiculous way. I already had to, stretch, I guess suspend my disbelief in order to just allow it to happen. For him to be like, okay, he can throw a shield and can boomerang back at him, and he can catch it at high speed without any issue. So cool. He can do it because he got the super soldier serum. But this is just a regular Joe Schmo. And I know what some people are saying, but he's, enhanced. He's at the top of a human peak. We don't know that. I mean, he just probably just a regular soldier. I mean, he's really good at what he does, clearly. But it just kind of takes away the specialness of. It make more sense if he had a super soldier serum, to where it's just like, oh, cool. So it makes sense for you to catch the shit. That's just me though. Anyway, moving on. So it shows all of that he's getting interviewed. So Bucky sees this, and Bucky isn't happy. He's upset. So he shows up to where Sam is, and he starts questioning him. Like, hey man, why'd you give up the shield? What's up with you? And so Sam is just like, man, I ain't trying to talk about this. You lived your overextended life to sit here and tell me about my rights. Basically, he said you ain't have no right to do that. And Sam was just like, yeah, get out of here. So he was saying, I got more important things to worry about. What's more important than the shield, Sam? And Sam was just like, I'm trying to take down this group called the Flag Smashers. Probably terrorists, who knows? And so Bucky was just like, I'm coming with. And he was like, no. So they have their friction. While it was cool to see them both together, I felt like this part was rushed, but I'll get into that later. But anyway, so that all happens. So Bucky goes with him on his mission to infiltrate and try to figure out the Flag Smasher. So we get to see like their relationship. They're bickering up against one another. Bucky is questioning him about why he gave up the shield, saying that, this is dumb. You should have been the captain, the new cap. Steve wanted you to be there. And Sam doesn't really want to talk about it. So they arrive there and they're butting heads because this is, I guess, the first time, post all the Avengers stuff that they're working together. And so they're trying to infiltrate this place and where the Flag Smashers are at. And so Bucky wants to just rush into the scene and you kind of see that Sam is like, hey man, now we got to be more strategic about this. And Bucky's just like, man, look, it's just regular people. I'm gonna go beat their ass. And so Sam was just like, look, man, yeah, let's just wait. Let's be smart. Let's find out who's where and what's what. And so they finally wait, and then I think Bucky ends up bumping into something, or Sam, whoever. It doesn't matter. And they make a noise that kind of grabs the enemy's attention, but they just kind of ignore it and go on about their business. So Sam ends up finding out like, oh man, it seems like there's a hostage in one of the trucks. So the two trucks take off, and Sam wants to figure out where they're going. So they go, and Winter Soldier goes and he tries to infiltrate the one truck, and he sees the girl inside the truck. He's like, hey, are you okay? And the girl seems innocent, but then she smiles and kicks him out the truck. She puts a mask on first, and then she kicks him out the truck. So it's kind of crazy because now she has a super soldier strength, because she kicked the crap out of Bucky onto this truck, and Bucky just wasn't ready for that. So all of this is happening, and Falcon is just like, man. So Bucky's trying to get up there and fight. So it's 3 against 1. All these super soldiers, and Falcon tries to fly in to help out. He sends his red wing or ring ding, I don't know what he calls it. He sends that down there, and I guess she or somebody else just tears it apart with ease. So like, oh snap, all of these people have super soldier serum. So it's just Falcon, who's just a regular dude, and Winter Soldier, who has super soldier serum in him, but they're outnumbered. It's like 4 or 5 of these people, maybe more, and they're about to get beat up. But next thing you know, new Cap shows up. He shows up, and nobody asked him to do this. So he comes in and starts throwing the shit all around the place, and it looks kind of cool. I'm just like, oh snap, okay. This is stressful because you have new Cap coming in, and I know they don't want him there. But then the interesting thing is his buddy that he was talking to earlier, Lamar, I think that's his name. He shows up, and they're just doing, yeah, and they're out there, they're over there trying to fight, and everybody's getting whooped because the super soldiers are just, who are these clowns? And they just start beating up everybody. And Falcon is trying to fly away and not get caught, get his wings broken off by these people. And long story short, they get beat up. So Falcon and Winter Soldier upset to these 2 guys, like, who told y'all to come here? How did y'all get here? And he was like, well, hey man, your Red Wing, it's government property. So we figured out you were here. We came, wanted to help out. And so they get into like a little, kind of like a disagreement because, the new Cap, John Walker, is trying to get these guys like, hey, look, man, I know y'all used to work with Steve Rogers, and, I think, man, we should all work together. We should team do it. Guys, all of us, I'm the new Cap, and, y'all were, Cap's wingman, so I need his wingman on my side. So Bucky didn't like this the entire time. Bucky just like, stop the car, I'm out of here. So he jumps out the car. And then when, John said that, Sam was just like, it's the last part that always gets me. Basically saying like, hey, man, I need a sidekick. I need y'all to be my sidekick. And that's kind of disrespectful. But I also wanted to point out his friend out here that I don't even know why he was there, Lamar. But anyway, he called himself Battlestar. And it was just like, dude, how you going to give yourself a superhero code name? And he was just getting his ass whooped the whole time. They got on the two trucks. He wasn't even doing. Actually, what's funny? I had a friend that we were talking about, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, and the other guy, yeah, Black Star." And I was just, Black Star. Oh, wait, you mean Battlestar? He's, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I said, no, but that's funny though. That's funny because Black Star does seem better. Just being honest, it does seem better than Battlestar. Because you just jumped in battle and got your ass whooped, so you need to change your name. But anyway, they didn't like that whole thing, so they left. They were out, and they just started doing their own thing, and they're trying to figure out what's going on and what to do from this point. So Bucky and Sam are trying to figure out where did they get this super soldier serum? Who is handing them out? And Bucky has an idea. He was like, hey, man, I think we need to, go and talk to. Actually, I'm not trying to share that. We need to go talk to some people that I know somebody, so I feel as though we can figure this out. And he's like, who? So he's like, man, come with me. So they go to the hood. But Bucky know about the hood, so they go to the hood and they try to figure out to go to this house. And Bucky asked this kid, he's like, hey man, I'm looking for Isaiah. And so basically, kid's like, man, that person don't live here. He's doing what he's supposed to do. Protecting his peoples. And he was just like, look, man, just tell them. I guess we were in Munich or wherever, it was. So that gives Isaiah, who's inside, like, all right, man, bring him in. And so they go inside and they're talking to this older black dude. And come to find out, Bucky is telling them, hey, man, look, I know we know who you are, or I know who you are. And it's like, so, Isaiah's like, oh, I'm surprised you're still alive. Because I took your arm, that day. It's like, oh, snap, this dude took half of Bucky's arm. And come to find out, this dude was Captain America after Steve disappeared. Whoa, so there was a black Captain America. That's crazy. This, I forgot this actor's name, but he's really good. He's OG. He's been doing this thing for a long time. So it felt like they made him look older, but I guess that makes sense with Steve Rogers looking as old as he was. But yeah, and this dude's still strong because Bucky was trying to ask him, like, look, man, there's some other super soldiers, more of us out there. And it was like, I need you. Do you know where they can be getting this serum from? So basically I said, it's like, man, no, I'm not helping you with nothing. Because after all I did for America, and they were testing on me, and they threw me in jail for 30 years. And I was just like, dang. And it just kind of, I thought this was a nice touch. That kind of reminded me of when the black soldiers, just back in the day, when they did a lot in all, like World War I, World War II, Vietnam War. They contributed a lot. But then when they came back, they got completely disrespected as if what they did didn't matter. So, this kind of touches back on there. Like, this dude was Captain America. He had, all this. Somebody said, not my cap. Well, to John Walker. I feel you, man. It's not my cap either. But yeah, man, it's like this dude did a lot for America, man, and they just completely disrespecting him. They threw him in jail for 30 years. It's messed up. 30 years. So you can understand why he doesn't want to help. So he tells him, man, get out of my house. He throws something because he gets so pissed off because Bucky's trying, like, man, please. He's like, get out of my house. And he throws like a whatever, some brick or some household item, and it got stuck in the wall. So Sam and Bucky leave, and Sam is just like, yo, man, like, why didn't I know about this guy? Why didn't I know about this? Did Steve know about this? And Bucky like, nah, man, Steve didn't know about that. And so it was basically like this program. They tested, I think, a number of different people to see if they can, or a number of different black people, to see if they can withstand the super soldier serum. And only one person survived from that, and that was Isaiah. And he was still getting tortured and used and misused and abused even after all he did for America. So I can understand why he doesn't want to have to deal with any of that stuff. So they're kind of like they're out of options at that point. They can't, but and then it goes from there to the police pulls up and they start harassing Sam and Bucky, more so Sam though, in a sense. It was like, hey, is everything fine? Let me see your ID. And Sam doesn't want to show the ID, so it kind of reminds me of just typical profiling and harassment. And basically, Bucky ends up telling them, like, look, man, we're the Avengers. What are you talking? And then they look, oh, I didn't recognize you without the goggles. Oh man, okay. Hey, we'll be right back. So they go, I guess talking to some other people, but they find out that Bucky has missed his court sanctioned appointment or whatever is court required appointment with his therapist. And they come back and arrest Bucky. And it's just, oh, dang, Bucky. What the, man? I mean, at least he was trying to look out for Sam and look out for the black folks. So they arrest Bucky. Sam goes and tries to find out where Bucky is and help him out. He's talking with the therapist. And next thing you know, Bucky is being released. And I'm like, oh, who did that? It's new Cap. It's new Captain America. And as our good friend John said earlier, not my Cap, but, hey, this is the Captain America for right now. So they says like, okay, well, Bucky, look, you have to have this therapy appointment if you still want to go out there and do your thing. And Sam, you coming with me too. You coming in here. And Sam like, I don't want to, why do I got to go on therapy? So they go into this therapy session. And, it's pretty interesting because actually, this was really good. It seemed kind of forced in some way because I don't even really understand why Sam needed to be there because Sam ain't got nothing to do with Bucky really. But Sam was in there and she was like, okay, y'all need to talk and we need to figure some stuff out. And basically the main part that came out of this, we come to find out that Bucky is upset at Sam because he gave up the ship, but we understand why, because we already know he's upset. But the reason why he's upset is because he tells him if Steve was wrong about you being a new Cap, then that means he's wrong about me. And I was like, hey, that's deep because, Bucky feels as though he can't be redeemed, but Steve believed in him. After all the stuff Bucky did, Steve was one of the only few that believed. Steve put everything on the line for this man. So that's why he's upset at Sam. He's like, man, look, man, you gave this up, man. He gave this to you because he believed in you and he believed in me. So if he's wrong about everything. So I completely get it. And that was a touching scene. So they leave from that and they end up talking to the new Cap. And he tells them like, hey, man, look, man, we need to work together. And they're just like, yeah, I ain't really down with that. I ain't trying to work together no more. And he just like, look, man, look, it's better if we work together, and all this. And they're like, no. I'm like, look, we're free agents of the state, so we can do a little bit more than y'all can do. So yeah, we out. And so they leave. And John, the new Captain America, basically tells him, it's like, well, stay the hell out of my way. I'm like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? Who are you? What is this? But that goes on. So I was like, that was kind of an abrupt turn. That's weird. But, okay, to go from that to Bucky has another idea. Sam doesn't like it, though. Because Bucky's just like, all right, man, look, we need to go see Zeno. And Sam like, no, man, we don't see Zeno. Why do we need to see this guy? And I agree. Why do we need to see this dude? Because I don't care about Zeno. Zeno, for all those who don't know, Zeno is this dude from the Captain America Civil War, when I guess he was a big reason why Bucky was running around and being as crazy as he was. I don't really care for this dude as a villain. He didn't stand out to me. I know there's a lot of people like, oh man, yeah, Zeno, oh, ooh, cool. But I never cared. Zeno he wasn't even, I mean, he was a villain, but he wasn't a villain. Like they were fighting amongst themselves. He was a weak villain. He was one of the weak villains. They're bringing him back. Hopefully this can be redeemed in some way because I don't care about Zeno still. But hey, okay, this guy to the right, not Chadwick Boseman, not Black Panther, not T'Challa, but I mean, you see how T'Challa looking at him like, man, this is your villain. Is this your villain? You see how he's looking at him like, man, this lame dude. I had a better villain than him. Killmonger and then Thanos, they did much better after this guy. This sucked. But anyway, that's the whole recap of Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 2. So let's just go straight into what I thought about everything. Acting and casting. What did I think? So with the acting and casting, I thought that everything was just kind of fine with it. It wasn't nothing super amazing. I mean, probably one of the best parts was when Sam and Bucky was in a therapy session and you got to see why Sam was upset. But there wasn't really any Oscar-worthy performances. Also, I think that kind of goes into it's not necessarily, I guess, the actor's fault per se, but there are certain parts where, and I'll go into that in the story, there wasn't enough time for certain things to breathe. So the actors can, in a sense, can only do so much with what they're given, right? So I'll just give it like 3 reels. 3 reels from me. All right, so going from acting and casting to the story, what I think about the story, I thought the story was okay. It was fine. I think the first episode was better because there was more intrigue because you had like Bucky going through his thing and it seemed like they had like a pretty decent pacing. And I was liking the pacing so far, but also I was wondering, okay, how are they going to bring, Falcon and Winter Soldier together? Like how is Sam and Bucky going to come together? Because they got their own things going on. And I mean, I didn't really care too much about Sam and his family, which, I mean, sadly, but it's just true. I didn't care too much about that. But I was just like, all right, but with Bucky and his whole situation, I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's really cool. How are they going to loop all that together? And I felt like this was just kind of rushed. Like all of a sudden, Bucky just showed up. Why'd you give the shield away? I'm gonna stare and be mad. I mean, and I get it, but it was just like, man, I'm coming with you on your mission. And it's like, what? And it was like, dude, I mean, because remember they said in the first episode, the therapist said like you got 12 missed calls from Sam. And they ain't even addressed that. Like Sam didn't even say, man, you wasn't even, I called you like 12 times. You didn't even answer for that. None of that. They just completely ignored it. So I think it was like an oversight on the writer's part to where you can kind of focus in on more stuff. Cause this stuff, that's important. That's an important line, so bring that back up, like why that can add to the tension. Like, man, maybe I was trying to call you because I was having problems trying to figure out how to take on this responsibility as Cap. You didn't answer the phone, so I gave it up, whatever, so that would have made more sense to me. That would have brought me in more. And with them showing Isaiah, I thought that was amazing. There's a Black Captain America. That's a huge reveal. But the only thing that sucks is that they didn't let that breathe because that's a big bombshell for Sam. It's like, whoa, there was a Black Captain America. I thought I was the first Black Captain America, potentially. But there's another, and you need some room for that to breathe. But which the next part, which the cops came in, that was a good part, but move that on down so that this moment can breathe, this moment can sit. So I felt like the pacing was kind of rushed, kind of off a little bit here and there with the story. It wasn't a bad story, it's kind of rushed. And with the whole Flag Smashers thing, I'm not really sure what's going on with them. It's like they seem like the terrorists, but they also might be good guys. But the terrorists, like, I don't know, because there's some people on the ground helping them out, and there's this other group of people trying to catch them because they stole the super soldier serum. Because one of the Flag Smashers people, they were, distracting or buying time for the other people to get away. So they died for, I guess, the leader, which is that girl with the red head. So I don't know what's going on there. But overall, I give it 3 reels. So it was a good story. It was okay. It was all right. It was nothing amazing, but it was fine. And I go from that to budget and marketing. Still, word of mouth kind of died down a little bit. I didn't hear that many people talking about this too much. And not that this was bad, but it was just okay. I mean, the biggest reveal in a sense was Isaiah, the Black Captain America. So that was cool. But there was not a lot going on. But the budgeting and all of that for this show is still keeping it, together. Like there wasn't really anything huge or big that happened to make me like, oh snap. But it still looks good from a movie standpoint, even though it's a TV show. So when I give that like 3 reels. And honestly, with all that being said, overall, with everything all together, I just actually, you know what? I don't want to take this away from you, Monkey. Monkey, give me the drum roll. I will give this show, this episode 2, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I give it 3 reels. 3 reels. It was all right. It was fine. It wasn't nothing I can get too excited about. I mean, they only have like 4 more episodes, I believe, after this. But so we'll see. We'll see where this goes, and we'll see how this continues on. Again, I'm interested in how this moves forward, but again, we'll see how that goes. I ain't mad at it. So hopefully episode 3 will pick it up a little bit. So with all that being said, if you really appreciate what I offer, if you want to see me review some other shows, other things, feel free to go and request a review at anchor.fm/review/support. Again, it's anchor.fm/review/support. For $1, I'll review 1 episode of your favorite show upon request. $5, I'll review a movie upon request. $10, I'll review an entire season of a TV show upon request. So definitely let me know, because I'm more than happy to review whatever you want me to review. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll review it. Again, I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Please, or even you can go to anchor.fm. Actually, I'll put the link up. You can go to anchor.fm/review/support, and you can just donate, even just $1. Like, hey man, look, I appreciate what you're doing. Keep it up, whatever. You can do that. You don't even have to ask for a review of anything. You can just give if you want to give. So with all that being said, again, I'm your host, John F. Thomas. Please hit the like button, share this, leave a comment to let me know what you think. As we had before, our friend John said he doesn't like this dude. It's not his Captain America. I can feel it. I can dig it. I mean, I'm gonna keep watching. It seems kind of weird. It seems like it's maybe slightly off. We'll see how this goes. But again, if you want to contribute, again, go to anchor.fm/review/support. I'd appreciate it. But other than that, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you thought about this episode, and I'll see you the next time around. All right, y'all. Peace.